Hi folks, my name is Adam and I like to make tiny nerdy things, and today I'm going to go all in on the tiny part of that. And I guess also the nerdy part, and probably the thing part too, so I guess, well, I'm just going to do it all. To start with, I need to make a teeny tiny planet Earth, which means I need to make a teeny tiny sphere. And making a quality sphere out of clay is a surprisingly involved challenge. Basically, once I've made an aluminium-based magma core, I'll wrap it in a layer of clay and shape it into as much of a ball as I can, using the tried and true squish and roll method. And once I'm happy with the roundness, it's time to introduce a cup. Now the trick here is getting a cup that is slightly smaller than the circumference of the widest point of the sphere, then gently rolling the ball around in the cup, allowing the edge of the cup to remove any of the excess clay. As the clay gets removed, you'll end up with a few dips and valleys, but you can fill them in easily and let the cup remove any buildup. Eventually, you should end up with a pretty smooth, almost perfect sphere, which should make the finish sanding that much easier. With my sanding finished, I've got an incredibly satisfyingly smooth sphere, which means it's time to make some tentacles. I'm using Cosclay for my tentacles since I want to be able to press them into place later without worrying about cracking my clay, and I've reinforced them with a length of double wound armature wire. These tentacles will be lovingly embracing planet Earth, so I want to make sure that they're nice and strong. Then it's just a case of wrapping the tentacles around the planet to get the right shape, then adding some texture to the underside. I figured that a world-eating space tentacle probably doesn't need octopus-style suction cups, so instead I'm opting for a more snake belly scale-esque texture style. I'm gonna have about 6 tentacles in total on this side of the portal, with at least 3 grabbing the planet, so I've made 2 more armature wrapped wormy dealies that I'll loop around the planet until I've got a good grabby pose I'm happy with. Then I'll give each of them the same underside texturing as the OG tentacle before throwing them all in the oven to make sure they keep their shape while I work on the top side. I bulked out my tentacles with a little bit of clay in the center so that they're a little bit thicker, then I'll wrap a long wormy dealie along the edges to clearly delineate the top and the bottom of the tentacle. I'll blend this into the top, then using my ball stylus, I'll roll it back and forth to give the fleshy parts a bit of a weird, space leathery look. Then I can use my clay shapers to cut some grooves into the edge so it's a bit of a rougher layer on top, as well as adding a bit of texture by way of cuts and dips. This is a world-eating space monster after all, so I expect it to have a few scars. Then I'll add some veins. Now, I don't know why I added veins, but veins are kinda creepy and I got carried away and, well, there's no going back now. Otherwise, I'll add some finishing touches by way of asteroid-sized space warts. Then I gave the whole thing a quick brushing with isopropyl alcohol before repeating the process 5 more times for each of the other tentacles. Actually, that's not entirely true. I thought it might be fun to make one of the tentacles reaching out and crushing the moon off to the side, so I made a teeny tiny moon out of a teeny tiny ball of clay, then smashed it up into a teeny tiny smashed moon. Then I drilled a couple of holes into the middle of the moon chunks so that I could add a bit of wire to connect the various sections so it looks like a freshly crushed moon pepper. Then I bent one of my non-earth grabbing tentacles off to the side so that it would fit my freshly smashed moon. Otherwise, the last of the tentacles textured, it's time to try and paint a somewhat accurate earth onto a tennis ball sized clay sphere. Of course, to make my life easier, I need to prime it white. This will make the next step a lot easier since I'll need to try and draw the land masses in pencil first, and a white base is going to make it a lot easier for me to see. I'll start by roughly marking out the 2 hemispheres using a compass, before turning to my friends over at NASA, who I figured will probably be the best source of a pretty accurate 3D model of the planet. And it's just a case of trying my damnedest to copy the land masses as accurately as possible using the reference model. Now this was a very slow and very painful process, but eventually it's looking, well, not good, but good enough, and I can start adding the color. Finally, after an indeterminate amount of time, I've got this little guy, and I have to say, I am chuffed to bits. The only thing left to do then is add a little cloud cover. I'm gonna make my clouds by pulling apart some cotton balls, then gluing them all willy-nilly around the globe. Now, I'm sure I could have upped the accuracy by following the actual wind patterns, but I didn't, because I didn't want to. Otherwise, I'll add some teeny tiny cloud highlights with little white paint, then move on to painting the moon with a whole bunch of gray. Now in hindsight, I wish I'd made the moon a little bit bumpier when I was sculpting it, but at this point, remaking the moon could take upwards of 5 or 10 minutes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And after painting the entire world, I'm feeling exceptionally lazy, so I'm just gonna try painting the bumps on instead. But with the earth and moon finished, it's time to paint my monster. Same as before, I'll start by snap priming my tentacles white. Now I hummed and hawed about what color to make the monster, but settled on purple as I always seem to do with tentacles. I don't know why, but my mind can't get away from purple tentacles. Now for what it's worth, I had thought of doing either blue or green, but was worried that because the planet is blue and green, they wouldn't stand out. Yes, that's right, I was worried that the planet-sized tentacles wrapped around the entirety of Earth wouldn't stand out. I did, however, decide to do some of the highlights in blue, so I painted the warts and veins with a nice dark blue. Well, I mean, it's basically purple, but at least it's a darker purple. Finally, I used a sponge to gently blend some of that same dark blue from the midline of the tentacle towards the edges, before giving the top a nice dry brushing with a very light blue. I figured that if my big tentacle boy was grabbing the planet and pulling it towards his spooky space portal, then there's probably going to be a little bit of surface damage. To add this, I'll dry fit the tenta fingers and mark out where they come in contact with the surface, so that I can use my knife and a chisel to cut some cracks and faults into the surface. Then I'll paint out these cracks with a bright magma red before adding some orange and yellow highlights towards the center. Then it's time to make a spooky space portal. Chili rice crackers are both delicious and packaged in a perfectly spooky space portal sized container. However, I only need the top, so I'll surgically remove it from the base before setting the bottom part aside for future use. I'll then hot glue the top ring to a Perspex base, and this will act as my frame for when I pour my resin portal. Then I can attach the tentacles to the earth using a bit more hot glue before gluing everything to the portal frame. I'll make use of the bottom of my cracker container to mix up a batch of blue tinted resin that will act as the body of my portal. Finally, I'll add some little swirls of white and purple ink to give it a bit more of a shimmering portal-esque look. Now, while the resin was curing, I gave the tentacles a nice goopy space tentacle look by painting them with a gloss varnish, as well as adding some little black and gray charred bits around the magma. Then a quick squirt with alcohol will loosen the hot glue and I can remove the frame. Then I'll add some ripples in the portal with a little bit of UV resin, glue the moon in place, and we're pretty much finished. However, I thought it might look kinda cool with a little bit of lighting underneath the portal, so I sanded and painted a plastic takeout container black, which I can then fill with some fancy LED string lights. Now, because these are multicolored, I can choose a new portal color based on my current emotional state. Otherwise, with my space portal in place, we're on to the Glamour Shots. As always, a massive thank you to the wonderful people over on Patreon that keep this channel churning out a whole slew of tentacled monstrosities, and a special thank you to my newest patrons, Sir Billiamson McNamara, Rodney Serbalov, Ahsoka, Obi Cannelloni, Libby May, Haley Torcasio, Jeanette, Walt M, Amber Wade, Brittany Palmer, Brian E. Woodman, and Fat Rabid Squirrel. You are the creepy celestial portal through which this channel wiggles its purple space tentacles. Let me know what you think down below, and if you liked it, then hit that little thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed, then you'd best get on that before our tentacly overlord comes for us all. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Cheers.